Rich and I and our team, we're great fans of classic Disney animal movies. We thought, wouldn't it be great to do a film like that with all this new technology that we have to tell stories.
ZPD's first rabbit officer, Judy Hopps.
You ready to make the world a better place?
90% of mammals out there are prey animals, and only 10% are predators. What if these animals evolved so that they were just like us and had a city? And they say that it's a utopia, but did they really put all this fear that they have of each other behind them? Just like us, is everyone just a little bit wary of differences in different groups?
One of the goals for the animals in the film was to look as if you could reach out on the screen and touch them. Really capturing the reality of the way fur works with light was something that we worked a lot on. It was a big research project for us.
They created this new grooming system or program for our characters where the fur on a fox looks just like the fur on a real fox in nature.
We spent about 8 months developing a new shader that actually describes fur in a really, truly realistic way. And we did do a lot of research. We went to the Natural History Museum so that we could actually look at fur up close with a microscope and look at the structure of each individual animal, because they are very different.
The challenge that we first ran up against is we just can't keep up with the animation. Even just, the posing of a character within the existing fur pipeline was just too prohibitive. So we had to really come up with a way to say, okay, how can we make this faster?
The fur affects the silhouette, it affects the expression. We were talking to Joe and his team and being like, we have to be able to see this while we're animating. It was really essential for us to have the genius that these guys contain to be able to help us visualize that so that we could get those performances to be able to come to the screen.
There were efficiency things that were built into that new shader that allow us to actually have animals with really dense fur. Even our tiniest mouse has about 400,000 hairs on its head, and Hopps and Nick both have over 2 million hairs on it. And that they're wearing clothes, so just that much hair in their head is quite an achievement, I think, for us.
One of the things that's changed in a huge way for Disney in the last 2 or 3 years is the Hyperion rendering system. And this is huge for us. It made making films at Disney so much easier, because one of the problems before Hyperion was that you had no idea what the lighting in your scene was going to look like. Now with Hyperion, very early on, almost as soon as we have the layout of the scene with the camera set up, we can get an idea of what that scene is going to look like and do intensely complex calculations and intensely complex environments that look photoreal.
Our barriers to our work a lot of times are just speed in the technology. These guys have just made our job so much easier in that we are only limited by our creativity. We're not limited by the tools that we use.
We are in a really big hurry.
I am on break.
So we use a broad collection of software tools in the making of the environments for Zootopia. One of the software systems we use is Bonsai, which is a procedural tree generation system. We also have the XGen system. In this case, we're using it to populate these bonsai elements in our world. So it's very important for us to add a subtle level of movement in the small twigs, branches and leaves of all our trees.
They are not only moving, they're also deforming or bending. Really looks like there's an actual wind motion going through the vegetation.
This particular collaboration has been a really rewarding and engaging opportunity for us to really take a problem that can't be solved by technology and a problem that can't be solved directly by animation, and really to work together to come to a much better resolution that really shows these characters feel like you're real. You just watching the movie just makes you really want to just run around Zootopia and just play in this environment. It's such an engaging place.
I think in a nutshell, if I had to say that, what is the dynamic there? The dynamic's probably cooperation between technology and artists, and kind of coming together and putting our heads together on where we want to go and how we're going to do it.